All right, today we're going to take a look at a classic video game manual. We don't see a whole lot of these in games anymore, so let's take a look at some of these old ones. This one's from one of my favorite PS1 games of all time, Xenogears. Starting out, we have the normal warnings and details and all these things about how to play your games. Then we have our table of contents here, our title, and we have a picture of our protagonist here. Now, one of the cool things about these old these old manuals, is they would actually give you some story context. The older the game, the more story details you get in the manual. So this gives us a nice little bit of a preface of the story. They actually show some clips here from the intro movie to the game as well. Then we get a lot of our basics here. Here's your PlayStation. Here's the different buttons on the system itself, and then some details on how to start a new game, talking about how a memory card is required. Then we have the PlayStation control, showing us what the various buttons do, control pad, triggers, start and select, and then letting you know kind of a little key here between what they do in the menu, the field, or in battle. Then they go through, it describes the menu screen controls, the field controls, and the battle controls, along with more screenshots from the game. Now, this one is more of a basic manual, so these screenshots are in black and white, but you would actually have some manuals which would do all the screenshots in color. Then we get ourselves a nice introduction to our characters. So a little bit of a character bio in here. So we have Fei Fong Wong, who's our protagonist. They would go in and give quite a bit of data here. Birthplace unknown, age 18, male, height 5'11", weight 147 pounds, specialty martial arts, and then the gear that he would get, which is also pictured, which is well tall. Then we have Elium. We have her details here as well. I won't go through all those, along with her gear. Then we have Saitan, Bartholomew or Bart, Billy, Rico, still main characters, just not kind of like the main two protagonists, but each one of them has a nice little bio and details. Then they continue to tell you about how you continue in your game from save data, going through some more of the menu options, going through the main menu, going through the character status, main menu details, details on the gears and the time, explaining the status screen for your character's level, experience, next level HP, and so on and so forth. Actually gives you a little bit detail that you sometimes don't get in game about what some of the stats actually mean. Taking you through the equip screen, how to equip your weapons, how to use items, how to rearrange your items, going over your abilities, how to use your abilities. Then we got a nice picture here of, I believe that character's name was Choo Choo. Then we have some details on our gears and how the gear stats work. And then talk about the file system for when you're saving your game, where to save your game. They tell you a little bit about how you acquire depth blow skills, which are super important to progress in the game. Definitely need those in battle or you're not going to make it very far. They talk a little bit about the game flow, includes like towns and villages, the world map, fields and dungeons, and then of course battles. And talk a little bit about character actions here, like how to talk to people, how to examine things, how to run, jump, open doors. They go into different types of towns and villages, different types of establishments there, weapon shops, item shops, gear shops, village consultant's house. Explain to you how to buy items with the shopkeeper. Then talk about the shop menu screens. Let you know that you can also find things not in shops. Trying to encourage you to do a little bit of exploration. Talk a little about the world map, fields and dungeons, how the compass works. Then they go into the battle menu, talking about the the battle command ring, how to look at your character's HP, time gauge, AP gauge, etc. Talk a little about the attack process, including screenshots, and then a breakdown of how many points it takes per attack. Talk a little about combos, and then talk a little bit here about how to set up how you can use some of your death blows. Talk about special abilities, items, how to call your gear, defend, escape. Then they go into details here on the different status effects like sleep, slow, poison, so on. Talk a little bit about gear battles and how those differ from standard battles. The gear battle details continue here. The attacks, talking about how much it takes for your fuel units per attack. Talk a little bit about ether and charge and how all that works and a couple other things. Continuing with showing different screenshots from the game. Again, still just in black and white. And then they give you a little bit of detail here with the skills and weapons that the different characters would be able to use. And that kind of continues on here. Then they talk a little about armor and accessories, gear parts and items, and then abbreviations, which is something that you don't see a lot, but that's actually a really nice way for you to know what some of those might actually mean in the actual menus. And then credits, and then your warranty information. But that's just a quick look at the instruction booklet for Xenogears. Back page here, a little bit of an advertisement for Parasite Eve, which also a fantastic game. Play that if you haven't. Bushido Blade and Brave Fencer Musashi, one of my another favorite PS1 game that doesn't get nearly enough love. But thanks for taking a look at that with me. For nostalgia's sake, I'll be going through a few of these different books for just these quick format videos in the future. So stay tuned. Thank you so much.